I see you. I see you over there. Hey.
Uh,
I didn't wreck you. I just finished you off.
yeah, I know. I kind of left that part out that I'd already crashed.
Although I will say, when I looked up in the mirror and saw you going into the wall again, I started laughing.
Uh, all right. If you've got the same throttle pedal that I've got,
Yeah.
you need to order that part.
Well,
It gives it
I'm
much better feel when you're
okay.
accelerating. But what I didn't think, because that's what I was looking for more when I was pushing. Well, because it's resistance, the off throttle is, I know it was quick from the factory, but it's
Mm-hmm.
quicker with this thing. And it helps push your foot off. You know what I'm saying? It helps. Yes. I didn't think about that. I was just thinking about when I'm getting on the gas is but I'm more impressed with the getting off of the gas. I really like that because there's resistance there on your foot. That I like. Definitely worth the money. I thought you had one. Your pedals had a different style of throttle pedal, didn't it?
It does, but it doesn't have it doesn't have a damper on the throttle. It's only got it on the brake and something else on the clutch. What it does have on the throttle, or all three pedals, is vibrators.
Yeah.
So when you're hitting the rumple strips or you hit a bump or something like that, you actually feel it in the pedals too.
Right. Right. Well, this you order it. It's nice. I like it. The which the getting on the throttle is just what I was looking for. I may even go to the other spring, which is bigger, and try it just to see. Because I had to crank this one down about a quarter of the way down that tube to kind of get what I like. But yeah, I like it. It's quality. You know what I mean? It's made good. All the
Hmm.
little parts are nice, clean. It looks great for the money.
Yeah, I actually went to the Fanatec site, looked up my pedals to confirm that it didn't have one. And then it's got a little link below it. It says for dampers, click this link, which I did, and the only thing it shows is one for the brake.
Right. I think the bigger spring that came with it is actually if you were gonna use it on your brake pedal. That's what I think. I think the one I've got in it is the one for the throttle, and I think the other one's for the brake. But I'm gonna try the bigger one on the throttle tomorrow. But I like it. The off throttle is really nice because you go to let off, or even if you're going half throttle or 3/4 throttle, letting off, whatever you're doing, you can feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because it's pushing against your foot. Not super hard, but it's resistance. I like that.
Yeah, for that cost, I'll go ahead and get it. Although this qualifying season probably over by the time
Yeah.
we get to the mountains. And when I get up there, I'll just be using the old wooden rig.
Oh, yeah.
Although I am taking up all the tubing and stuff I had to modify this thing, I think this will be a perfect opportunity for modification.
Right.
I've got to do something about the city. Have this one redone, which is probably the route I take.
Well, go down to Walmart and get you a $15 seat cover. You can get one with a big smiley face on it.
That's not as much fun as it is. Yeah. I want to get it modified so it's got a little bit more velocity.
Yeah.
What I would like to do, unfortunately, I don't have one. Well, I do, but it's in my truck. I'd like to find one that has the air conditioning units. A fan up on it. So on them long race nights, my ass
Well,
would
when
be sweating.
if you have your seat redone, have them cut a fucking hole in the back.
I don't know if it's that simple or not. I've got 2 seats out of the Challenger, but all they have is heat. I need to take one apart and see if it actually has it could have the channels in the air conditioning. You just
Huh?
Do you have a puppy?
A puppy?
Sounds like I hear a little puppy yapping.
Oh, that's that. Because I've got that spring compressed.
Oh, that's your damper.
Well, when it's all the way out, like no adjustment in that nut, it doesn't squeak. But when the spring compresses, because I've got it cranked down, it kind of bends in and it rubs on the shaft. No, it ain't that. Because it's threaded where it's, I mean, the WD-40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Now that other,
put a sleeve
that's
over
what
the threads?
I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, I don't want to put no fucking tape on it because it's sticky and it'll eventually have cat hair stuck all over it.
Yeah,
So
look around the shop that you work at, or next door. I'll almost bet you they have some type of plastic tubing.
nah, not anything. They don't. No, none of them use anything like that. I was thinking what I'm gonna do. I'll figure out something, but I'm gonna try the other spring too. If I back the adjustment off of this one, it doesn't make that noise. It's just because that spring being as long as it is, and it's not super stiff. When it compresses, it kind of bows in the middle area there, and it cuts in the shaft.
Yeah, you know anybody that's got some junk cars?
No.
I'll bet you can get some vacuum tubing or something. The newer cars, they use so much vacuum tubing, all different kinds of sizes.
Oh, well, I mean, I got shit like that up in mom and dad's basement. I just was saying, I just realized what was going on earlier before I got
Oh,
on.
okay.
But I mean, I'll figure something out. I just don't want to use tape. I don't have a lot of space, so it'd have to be like super thin. It'd more have to be something plastic, like thin plastic.
That's the reason I said vacuum tubes or tubing.
Yeah, they ain't
It's
nothing
usually
like
pretty
that.
thin.
I'll find something.
A straw. There you go.
Yeah.
How big's the bolt?
It's not a bolt, it's the shaft, that gold part in that picture.
Yeah, but you said it's threaded.
Yeah, I don't know how. It's like a shock. It's like a coilover shock. You can screw that nut down. The whole shock body's threaded.
I don't know exactly which one you got.
Look at that picture in the chat.
That's what I'm getting ready to do. Because I was thinking that
I mean, it's already close to it.
if I can get the model number off of this one. Look, damper mod improvement. It's your order number.
Huh? Oh, you looking on the website.
Well, I'm trying. There's like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 of them on the first page. All ODO Luck
That's it.
dampers. Well, that's what I'm
They've
saying.
got
There's
they've got
10 different
they've
kinds.
well they've got a red shock body. They've got chrome springs, black spring. They've got a gold shock body. They're
Yeah,
all
there's only one
basically.
gold ones.
That's the one I got. But that picture I posted in the chat's a close up. You can see that, like close up.
Yeah, the one online here shows it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like a coil-over shock adjustment.
Right.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I'm never going to have it threaded down that low, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to wrap it with tape because I don't want it collecting cat hair, dog hair. All right, here we go. But yeah, that's what I was talking about. It just kind of flexes in to one side or the other, and it's touching that body there, that threaded body. But if I put that other one on there, it's a lot stiffer,
yeah, that's definitely a heavier spring.
Right. That's why I was saying I think that one would probably be the one for your brake. If you were using it for that. I'll try the other one tomorrow night. If I don't like it, I'll put this one back on. It'll take a few minutes. I was thinking about, instead of doing another track, doing one race manu practice.
That'd be cool.
I know the settings for it already. The only thing I don't know is the weather, the time of day. No. I mean, it takes me longer to get there, but I still need it. This car, the Vet, I think pulls better in fifth gear anyway. I mean, it's good on takeoffs on the roll and start, but it just feels like it pulls different when you're in fifth. I mean, I'm in sixth gear before I come up the uphill thing there.
Yeah, something. And I can do it in fifth, but almost peg rebel.
Yeah, that's what I'd be doing.
I think the biggest difference between the light and the red transmission is the first 4 gears. Fifth and sixth are pretty close to the same.
Yeah. I know on the roll and start, the Vet launch is pretty damn good.
But you're in first gear, right?
Sometimes. I wouldn't say it's 50-50, but I mean, some tracks we go to, it starts with second.
It's almost always in first gear on mine. I have to immediately shift to second.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it gives me the control, it's taking the rebel. First gear is really only good for standard start. Hairpins, pretty good on those.
And I can't even catch alligator.
Yeah, 4 reptiles are pretty fast.
They are when they're after something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want one after me. thought about getting the red one, but I just like the look of the gold one. Come here, alligator. Ah. Well, sitting here looking at this thing. What the only problem with putting some kind of plastic between there, it's got to be able to compress.
Well, you'd only need it on the upper part of the upper or lower of how you got it, the shock part of it. You wouldn't need it all the way down. You just want it on the part where the threads are.
Yeah, I don't know that I could find that thing because it's not a big space. It's like two.
No, it's not, and so I really wouldn't know what you would do.
Other than tape, I mean, I could wrap
Oh, I
black
bet that
electrical tape around it.
you can take a straw, split it, so you can kind of like half moon it around it, and see if it'll ride on the side that's rubbing.
That'd
'Cause
be a
I don't
big
know
ass
how big a
fucking. That'd be a big straw to
well,
even
you
get
can
a
get
quarter of the way around it. It'd have to be a big straw.
you can get straws pretty big. It's like I said, I don't know what the diameter of that thing is. It's not giving any dimensions.
Yeah, and I don't have a tape measure, so I can't look. Hang on, let me turn the light.
Yeah, just looking at the picture, he's got it on the pedal. It is
It
pretty big.
it looks like it's about 3/4 of an
You
inch.
know, that's the same idea that I've got that I've already done on my pedals up there on the brake pedal to give it more resistance.
Yeah,
And I used the damper out of my Logitech pedals.
I got a damn tape measure. What? You hungry? Is that why you're whining? I thought I already fed you. I guess your sister came in here and ate it.
The only difference is it doesn't have adjustable resistance. All you do is just change the spring on it.
Yeah, I saw some of them. They got like little different colored ones
Yeah.
that look like the one that's in my brake pedal. They look like just different compounds, I'm sure. I'd say it's probably looking at it, it's about 3/4 diameter, maybe 13/16. Hell, I don't know. I can't find my tape
That's
measure.
that's a lot bigger than I thought then.
Yeah.
Well, they got one that's non-adjustable. It's just a little shock.
All right, what did they do with the damn controller? Shit. Sitting in here on the kitchen table. Yeah, I mean, I got some of that wide Gorilla tape. I could cut it, the width of it to make it the length of that little shock and just do one deal around it and put the tape at the bottom, but it's still gonna be a grit collector on the ends. And then you know how tape does it usually kind of shrinks up a little bit over time. Just don't know what I can put on there. That would be slick. Don't want any resistance. But I think if I put that other spring on, I think it'd be alright. I don't know why I did that. I didn't mean to do that.
What'd you do?
Send an invite to the group again.
Go.
Oh, he's spectating. Okay. You here?
Yeah.
We're gonna go to that car show at Tony's place Saturday. Pictures I've seen, they have quite a few cars there. Free food and free drinks. Can't beat that.
There you go.
I don't even think there's an interstate. And it's not far from here, it's just right up the interstate. Me and Dad the other day, I was worked on the car. Me and Dad was going to drive to see if we could go to this buddy of ours that's got a paint body shop. See if we could get a little thing to touch up. Got up there and he's like, hell man, we don't even mix our thing anymore. He said, we go strictly by a number code. He said it saves us money, saves us time. We don't have, which all they're doing is custom cars anyway. They're not doing any more like insurance shit. They're just strictly old hot rods. And yeah, he has some nice shit in there. Had a little rat rod in there. He's got a killer little pickup truck rat rod. It's like a 51 Chevy or something like that pickup. It's been heavily modified, but it still looks like a 51 Chevrolet. And he had I think a 90 model Z28 that he bought from a guy behind his shop. Had a good motor and transmission rear end and interior. And Terry and his son cut all the fucking skin off that car and morphed this truck body over that car body. Put some big fat tires under the back. Didn't even have to narrow the rear end or nothing. Just they fit. And it's lower. It's not technically lowered. It just looks lowered because of the way they mounted the body on there.
It's a car that they put the body on, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, the car is going to have a lower ride height.
Yeah, but I mean, it's stocked ride height for the Camaro. The body,
yeah, but it's going to look like it's lowered on the
right,
truck.
right. With the truck body on it, yeah, it looks like it's lowered. It's cool as shit, man. It's no paint. It's just the old patina. All the colors that it's had on its life is on it. Yeah, it's a cool looking little truck. But yeah, you get in it and sit down, it's dash, seats, everything. Now it doesn't have any rear seats. They made that the trunk area and put a lid on the bed of the truck. So if you lift it up, what you're seeing is the floor pan of the original car. I mean, there's some place in there they've made where they can, store stuff in there, but you see the floor pan of the car. The hump over the rear end, all that, that's what's there. Looking at it, you'd never know the chassis was a Camaro. I cut the rear front fender wells. I made the rear bumper with the lights. I cut the front fender wells, front and back, and moved the wheel opening on the truck to get with the Camaro tires. I think I moved them backwards. It was like 3 inches, I think. So I had to cut that fender out of and then patch in. Well, I cut one out and then extended the other one. It looked good though. Come out good. All things considering, I've never done nothing like that before. But when we were leaving to go that way to go see about getting paint, we was gonna go by this place and check about getting the rear window tinted again, redone. Until the guy told me $150 to $200 to redo that rear window, as small as it is, because he doesn't know how hard it would be to get the glue off or to clean the window after he removes the film that's on there. Like that. Paying you $200 fucking to do that little bitty ass fucking window. I'll ride with a little teeny tiny bubble that's in there before I do that.
Take your razor blade, cut the bubble, and work it out.
Yeah. But I mean, it won't stick now. Ain't no telling how long that window tint's been on there. And it ain't even that big. My mom's seen it. Because I was wanting to take them stickers off the back window on the outside. And she said, oh, we were going to do that. And there's a spot with a big old bubble. Hell, I didn't saw. All I saw was a little bitty. I'm like, damn, you have to fucking lean over and look at that shit. You know. But it's what she wanted, so we went and checked. But anyway, when we was going over there, we was coming where we was fixing to get up on the interstate. Dad started laughing. I said, what's that? And he said, hi, just the other morning when I went to Jack's, he goes down and drinks coffee with his buddies. He said, I was going down there. He said, this guy was on my ass coming down 11. He said, we turned here coming up towards the interstate. Said, you could tell he was wanting me to go at the red light. He said he rode my ass all the way up until I turned, and we were turning at the same spot and going down the ramp there to get out on the interstate. And he said, yeah, he said, some bitch was on my ass. He said, I got down here at the bottom of the hill. He said, I swear he wasn't just a couple of feet behind me there. He said, we hit the bottom and I eased onto the end of the right lane. He said, he whooped out to the left of me like his girl. He said, I just hammered down on him. I said, what? He said, I hammered down on that son bitch. He said, I hit fucking gears. He said, I kept it floored till I got to the top of the hill. He said, he finally backed off. I was like, you go, boy. 83 years old. I thought that was funny. He said, I let her eat. That thing will run, man. I haven't like showered down on it, but I've got into the gas pretty hard when me and my buddy, after we got the power, I finally got that power steering fixed. Thank the Lord. It had a leak. Couldn't get to it. But he helped me. We got it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of laid into it then when we took off to go make a test run. And it wanted to go. We got back to the house and Dad said, pull up in there. I pulled it in the garage. Dad said, he said, goddamn, we heard y'all all the way over on Highway 11. I was like, there ain't no way y'all heard me. He said, by God, I did. He said, you hammered down on it going down towards Clearview down there, or the thicket. I started laughing. I said, that's exactly what we did. We were trying to figure out if we think what kind of gear we thought was in the rear end. At 70 miles an hour, it's running about 2,000, 2,100 RPMs at 70 miles an hour, approximately 70 miles an hour.
This is 5 speed,
4-speed.
4 speed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're probably in the
I figure it's probably
320 something like that.
I don't know, man.
325.
It feels tougher than that. It feels like 373 maybe.
You're turning more RPMs than that at 70 then.
No, not. Well, maybe not.
Well,
355.
my truck has a 321 gear in it.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's got 20-inch wheels on it, but if I'm towing something, I don't use all 8 gears. I use 6 gears, which is 1-to-1 ratio. And 65, 70 miles per hour, I turn like 2,500 miles per hour.
Well, my Camaro's automatic, and it's 70 miles an hour. It's about 2,000, 2,100, maybe 2,200. I don't know what gear it's got in it.
My truck has 8 gears, 70 miles per hour. It's turning like 1,800. At 55 miles per hour, if I can get it to go into 8 gears, which is the second overdrive, it's turning 1,200 RPMs.
Well, the rear end's out of a 70-something Monte Carlo. I don't remember what year it is. And I don't know if it's the stock gear. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, it could be. Like I said, I want to say a mid-70s Chevy Monte Carlo rear end. And it's 90 fucking degrees here today. Yeah. I think they've got storms rolling across Arkansas, Tennessee area again tonight. I know they got hit pretty hard yesterday. Uh-oh. What happened there? just seen cars bouncing everywhere.
Well, I had a run on mod, and I was going to go to the right of it. He moved over, so to keep from hitting him, I pulled off the track and made it.
Ah,
But I don't know why he moved over. Garden Pool was in the midst of it also. I think he backed out. You can see him on the board there.
oh shit. gonna get a penalty for that. Yep. All right. Is there a mandatory pit?
Hang on a second.
I don't think so. It's just a sprint race.
Yeah. No pit required. Racing mediums.
Yeah. Okay.
S18. That must be cloudy.
Oh, let me look. See. S18.
Mid-afternoon, 16:10. It'll be about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, that's cloudy. Time, speed, 1.
Yes.
And what time did you say?
1600.
I've
They
got
got it listed at 16:10, so it'd be what, mid-afternoon?
afternoon, late morning, afternoon, evening.
You only got 3?
Well, I've got early dawn, sunrise, early morning, late morning, afternoon, evening, sunset, and twilight.
Well, go evening then. Let's see what it looks like.
I didn't go into the lobby, so I don't know.
I haven't been in either. I mean, it's a distinct difference for us. What we classify as evening. Yeah, that's gonna be too late. Let me go look at the lobby right quick.
All right.
I'll be right back. It's probably gonna be that afternoon. Quit checking the network and load, damn it. Trying to exit. Just about be quicker to close the game and reload it. Alright. Choose the right tires, dumbass. Yeah, go with the afternoon. Because there's sunshine still on the track. Front stretch is shaded from the grandstands.
All right. It's reloading.
Okay.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. That looks pretty. I'll be right back. I'm going to get me some crackers.
All right.
Refill my drink.
Crap. I blocked that dude. You see what that guy was saying? Dan Brookfield 13. He commented racist, F Trump, POS. I kicked him and went and blocked him. I'm hungry. Where's those smoke? You hear? Hello. Yo, you here? Or did you go let the dog out? Shit. What? What? Huh? What? Yeah? Just because I'm talking to you doesn't mean you had to get up. You know, get up. Yeah.
I'm back.
Right.
You got one that ain't loaded yet, or
Yeah.
on the track. Sorry it took so long. The dog wanted to go crap, and she's done got in her old age where she won't go out in the yard when it's dark unless I'm out there with her. Well, there's old Smoke.
Quit. Quit.
This will probably be a track I'll use the brake balance on. Those tight turns. Hopefully it'll help me turn some.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Fuck yeah. I ain't got time to do that now. I had no idea what I was thinking because I drove right down below the damn pit entrance line. Gotta have second penalty. Cutting the track. I had to kick that guy in blocking. British guy come in here talking shit. He said racist. And he said F Trump. And then he said POS, capital letters. I kicked him and blocked him. He was British. You need to worry about your own fucking country, don't worry about ours. You see what they're doing to that French candidate? Putting that bitch in jail, man. Leading candidate to win, and they just made it where she can't run, and they brought her up on some BS charges like they did Trump, and they're gonna put her fucking ass in jail. Because they can't beat her. Fuck the French, stinking motherfuckers. I always heard they didn't use deodorants and shit. I don't know if it's true or not. That's just what I always heard. I know that women like to have hairy armpits. I don't want to see no woman with hairy armpits.
I'd rather them have hairy armpits than hairy legs.
No. My face is up by them hairy armpits.
I'll tell her to keep her arms down. Can't see me. She's giving me a blowjob.
Yeah, no, I ain't doing hairy armpits. If I ever get to do another.
Know what you mean?
I ain't had none probably 5 fucking years. Kilt's a regular, I'm gonna get him in. And really, uh, sorry, really slow. You went from an S to a B. Send a Sprinter a message and tell him to come back while I tell them we're restarting.
Okay. He's still in the friends chat, ain't
Sprinter? Should
he? Yeah.
be. I know I got him on my friends. He's on my friends list. And we'll get 3 more than him if he comes back. I found him.
Actually, he's not in the chat.
That's right. I didn't ever add him because I didn't want him to be able to join the voice chat.
Okay. Did you send him a message?
Yeah.
All right. And there he is.
Well, they're going to go to their first little gathering tomorrow night. The town where the Walmart is, they started having a deal on Friday nights. It's not a car show, but it's a gathering.
Yeah.
And it'll be their first outing in it for them. And then Saturday we'll go to that thing at Tony's. Hell, that thing at Tony's is associated with the National Hot Rod Association. All right, all in. Uh-oh. There it goes. Maybe I'll get a lap this time.
Quit cheating.
Yeah. It happens sometimes. Yeah. I don't know what to tell her. I'm just coming to start my lap. So. He may be the reason that it took me 3 times to start the race there. You know, it acted like somebody was loading.
Yeah. Which means we're probably good to start.
Looks like he got out of the pits. Alright, let's see if I can not cheat this time. There you go. I should have probably been in the 33. Had a 34 something. It wasn't a good lap. Probably mid 33. Look at 7, 8, and 9 times.
Yes, that's pretty close.
Make sure it don't pop. Yep, got fresh load in it, ready to go. What? Huh? God, you're so needy. You're something else. No, you can't get a pull. Yeah. like to spun out. Yeah. I was looking out the passenger side window at the track. It's not. Yeah.
Smoke crash.
Yeah. 2 and 1 is what they are. Two tire, one fuel. I think the heavier spring might be better. Still a little bit too easy to push. Oh no, 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 no. Who'd you say you went with on your phone?
Consumer Cellular.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What's his name? Ted Danson doing the commercials.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, look them up online. They got a deal. I don't know if it's still going on. 2 lines for $60 a month. 50 gigabytes of data. Underneath all the text and all that junk. And then you can add another line. They keep sending me an offer for $15 more a month. But my bill was $105 a month and change. Got a notification it was going up $15 a month, and I was getting a discount being a government employee. Well, I was going to lose that, and
Yeah,
it was 15% off. So that means it was going to go up to about 135 or 140 bucks.
yeah,
$60 sounded a whole lot better to me.
yeah. I told Mom to check on it because we got 3 lines and ours is about $250 a month, but we've got unlimited everything:
Well, they
data,
have unlimited
text,
plans,
phone. Yeah, so
and I don't know how much the unlimited plan is.
right.
They use AT&T towers, which really about all the cell towers you see is going to have every carrier on it.
Right. That's what I thought. I think they all use the same towers,
Yeah,
basically.
and what it is the towers are generally owned by a tower company, and the carriers rent a space on that tower.
Yeah.
So the only upgrades they have to do is to their equipment and not the tower itself. If they need more power or anything like that, then that falls back on the owner of the tower.
Yeah.
I
Right.
got into all of that when I was doing inspections. Ended up in the area I live in, or excuse me, that I was doing inspections in. I just about knew all the codes of all the towers in my area. They didn't have to give me a code number or anything. Had them all written down.
Yeah.
I could get in any of them. All right, man.
Yep. I'm out.
All right,
All
later.
right. Later.